Vegas is bleeding tourists. Casinos are firing people who deal your cards. Prices on everything from your hotel room to a cup of coffee are going up. And Goldman Sachs just told you they're not coming back down, like probably ever. We got a full rundown of the news today. My name is Stephen J. Campbell. This is where an economic truth teller tells you how it really is. So let's get into it. All right. So in Vegas, the city that literally invented the idea of cheap fun for regular people, $1.99 buffets, free parking. Come lose your money at the tables. We'll make it worth your while, right? That was the deal. That deal is gone. So as you already know, visitor numbers dropped 7.4% in 2025. It was only, 34.5 million people, the lowest since the early 2000s. The sharpest decline since the pandemic. We're coming out of 6 straight months, year-over-year drops. And a poll over 15,000 people handed the Strip a brutal verdict. Nearly 9 in 10 people who responded to this poll said that Las Vegas had gotten too expensive. 9 out of 10. That's 90%. That's a landslide number. But here's why right now. See, the average resort fee on the Strip, it hit $40 a night in 2025. That was up 11% in a single year. Some properties are at $50, $60 after they tax you on the luxury end. You book what looks like a reasonable room, you show up and boom, there's a resort fee waiting at checkout that you probably didn't see coming. And then you find out the Bellagio is charging you $25 extra if you want your room service on an actual plate with a real fork. That's not a joke. That's real. They call it Operation Charge for Classic Service. You're paying to eat off ceramic instead of cardboard. That's where we are right now. One travel executive stood in front of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority Board and basically begged the resorts to stop. Just pause the fees, please. Get people back. The casinos said no, of course, because the fees are free money. And free money is hard to walk away from when the customers are walking out the door, right? But it continues out. We're going to zoom out to the national economy because what's happening in Vegas isn't a Vegas problem. Vegas is the mirror for the nation. Consumer confidence in America just hit its lowest point since January 2021. Conference Board's Expectations Index, this is what tracks where people think their income, jobs, and economy is going. It's been sitting below 80 for months. Anything below 80, by the way, is historically associated with a recession, but it's been there since February. Now it's going to be May in a day or so. It's not a blip. It's actually a trend. And here's the part that should bother you. Consumer spending is 2/3 of the entire U.S. economy. 2/3. So when people stop feeling okay about the future, they're going to stop spending. When they stop spending, the businesses stop. And businesses pulling back, well, you already know what happens next. It's a circle. It completes itself. And we have to talk about the prices nationwide right now, too. Goldman Sachs put out a note. It was very dry, very nice. They'll do that in Wall Street, but it was also devastating. They said that even after the Supreme Court started clawing back some tariff authorities, companies aren't going to drop their prices. The Goldman team said they would never expect prices to come down, especially after they're raised and everybody's used to paying them. And that means you're going to pay more. You're going to keep paying more. The Yale Budget Lab ran the numbers. Tariffs will cost the average American household $600 to $800 this year. $600 to $800. Remember that number. After the cuts and the clawbacks. Peterson Institute, the researchers are now predicting inflation could hit 4% by the end of 2026 as the delayed pass-through from tariffs finally gets to us in full. And we're not through this at all. We're barely in the middle of it with Iran and oil prices and everything else. And coming up after the break, the people who actually make the Vegas experience happen, the dealers, floor staff, employees, they're getting fired, shown the door by property. And the numbers are worse than the casinos want you to know. I'm going to tell you about that. Stay right here with me. But $600 to $800. What if there was a way to make that kind of money by clicking a mouse a few times a day, 15 or 20 minutes? I've been telling you this forever. It's something that I've put into my day for years and years, trading the futures markets. It's why I invented and wrote and created 1K a day. It's my product. I made it just for you so I could show you guys how to do the same thing. It's all about taking some heat off, right? You see the thing, you click the button, you see the profits come through, you walk away. 15 minutes, you got a better day. It's not difficult. People think it's hard. They want to make it hard. They don't want you to be empowered and living a better life. They want you to be invested in how bad things are, so you rely on them. So here's the deal. Pay a bill or two. $100 here, $200 there. Get in what I call base hits. Makes your life better instantly. I have people that are in my course right now, students that have carved out a literal six-figure income, 100K plus a year. Here's a screenshot from a student making $2,500 a week doing this. So here's the deal, right? For only the first 5 people watching this video today, you can get 1K a day for just $199. Should run for $2,000. I've been raising the price slowly, but with the economy the way it is, I decided to run this sale for you till the sale's over. Just click the link in the pinned comment down below. You're going to get to my site and put in the code B3, just the letter B and then 3, the number 3. Okay, you get the whole thing for $199. It's all you'll ever pay. Do it before the sale is over, because once it's gone, it's gone. It's going, it's gone. But I would rather help you guys out than see you struggle. And I mean, speaking of struggle, Vegas is emptying out of tourists, and now it's starting to empty out of workers too. I talked about this last year. I said, if this continues on, Vegas could in time become more like a ghost town than you know. Just a memory of a good time in the past. But Resorts World laid off staff in March. Fontainebleau across the street followed. MGM cut concierge services at 6 of its strip properties last year. The Venetian's been cutting. And the people taking the hardest hit are table game dealers, the literal face of the casino floor. The director of one of these dealer schools in town said that their enrollments have dropped. People that used to move to Vegas just to create a career at table games, they're not coming anymore. Vegas unemployment's climbed up to 5.2% in April, and it hovers between 5.2 and 6% nearly. So that puts us at the top amongst large metro areas in the country. Gaming revenue on the Strip, by the way, it's dropped. Tourism is down 5.1% over that same period. And here's a brutal twist that they don't want you to know. The casino's raising prices. It's to squeeze more out of fewer people. It's the exact same thing driving visitors away. Yeah, it means they cut staff, which makes the experience worse, which drives more visitors away. It's self-inflicted. It's a cycle. It's what we call the death spiral around here. And unfortunately, nobody seems to want to be the first one to blink. But nationally, there's a word that nobody wants to say, but everybody's starting to kind of whisper, which is stagflation. And that's where inflation is up, growth is slowing, the labor market softens, the Fed gets stuck. Cut rates to help the economy. We're now in a melt up. Hold the rates, and the slowdown kind of deepens. Stanford economists said it best. We're in a slow fire, low higher equilibrium. Everything's kind of frozen. Hiring's frozen, and wages, while still technically outpacing inflation by about 1%, they're decelerating. So that gap is closing now. Meanwhile, the top 10% of earners, they now account for 49.2% of all consumer spending, the highest concentration since 1989. So the entire engine of the American economy is running on a tiny group of people at the very top of the K-shape who have assets who are fine. Everybody else watching prices hold new highs. Wages are slowing down, and the opportunities are getting smaller. But speaking of an opportunity, if this is meaning anything to you and you're 1% smarter, this is your opportunity to hit subscribe, because we're going to keep doing videos like this exposing the truth on the channel. But I wanted to bring you up to speed to where we really are. Vegas raising fees, fewer visitors, workers losing jobs, consumers are tapped out. Prices are locked in high, even as the tariffs ease up. And there's a Fed with no clean moves left. It's not doom for the sake of doom. This is just the scoreboard right now. And right now it's not pretty. The question is whether you're watching the game or playing it. Are you ready to make that jump? If you are, I want you to click the link below and get into 1K a day and be my student. If you're not there quite yet, just subscribe to the channel, come back, get some truths. I'm an economic truth teller. And make sure you click one of these videos next to my head. You'll find something good in there. YouTube makes great recommendations. They know what you like. Until we meet next time, as my mentor always says to me, just keep swimming. But as this black wristband that I wear reminds me every day more and more aptly, got to remember, no matter what happens, God's got this.